Hey guys, I'm back for another video. In this video, if you saw by the title, yes, I'm going to be reviewing my camera that I have been using at this point to make short films and YouTube videos. A little disclaimer though, any videos that you have kind of seen on my channel right now, I haven't actually shot on my Panasonic Lumix. That's what I'm recording on right now. So you don't get a taste of that in my channel yet, but I have shot plenty of projects with this camera that I will be showing off in the future when I kind of catch up to myself, so to speak, with my posts. But yeah, this is going to be a really quick video. I just wanted to go over the camera itself and then do my pros and my cons, and then compare it to this guy right here, which is a Canon DSLR T3i with an 18 to 135 millimeter lens. All the videos on my channel that you have seen pretty much have used this camera right here. Honestly, I don't want to disregard this guy. I still think this is a really nice piece of equipment. I think it's kind of outdating itself a little bit, and my one has a dead pixel on it, and that just kind of forces you to get a new camera, I feel. So one more thing that I wanted to just bring up before I actually get into the full review of this, I will be reviewing it with its kit lens and not the other lenses, because what I'm shooting on right now is a 25mm lens, which roughly estimates to a 50mm lens. So we're going to be going over the 14 to 42. So just giving you guys a little bit of a run through on this camera. So the G7 is a mirrorless design, and it is also a more compact design as well. So it is lighter, and it's kind of more of like a run and gun camera, so to speak. Good for vlogging, short films, guerrilla style filmmaking is what I like to call it, where you're kind of going out in public, shooting what you need to shoot, and then you're running. But it also has the capabilities to work cinematically. So going off of some of the specs of this camera, it has cutting edge video, audio, creative controls, intelligent focusing and exposure technologies, and the G7 also has 4K photo capabilities as well as video capabilities. So the f-stop on the lens is 3.5 to 5.6. Alright, I'm just going over a little bit of a rundown of some of the other features on the camera. So this camera has a 16 megapixel micro four thirds sensor with a no low pass filter to confidently capture sharp images with high dynamic range and artifact free performance. So the lenses on it have a crop factor, I believe, and it really doesn't do much to the image or anything. What I found though is that you actually, when you're looking at a lens, so if it says a 25mm lens, you actually have to times that number by 2, and that gives you the actual equated full frame picture of it. So it would actually equate out to a 50mm lens. So I pretty much went over a lot of the pros of this camera. You know, it has 30 frames and 60 frames full HD, as well as 4K video capturing technologies. I have also taken pictures on this camera for someone's senior pictures, and they really enjoyed the pictures that I shot for them. So in that regard, this camera also works really well for taking pictures. So one last pro I have about this camera is I do think the low lighting capabilities in this camera are really good. I don't think it stacks up to some of the other cameras from the Lumix line, or like a full frame sensor camera, because I've seen what that looks like, and just like a comparison, like I did a wedding that from my camera to my my partner's camera, who was also shooting the wedding with me. He definitely could get a lot more light into his sensor than I could. So going over some of the cons of this camera, it does say that it has intelligent focusing technology, but it's not the best. I mean, I don't want to dock it before I do it, but I do want to say that the autofocus on this isn't as good as they kind of chop it up to be. I still think it's pretty good for what it is. That's just kind of what you're going to have to deal with. And I mean, if you're like me, where you're behind the camera and you know how to tweak a camera manually, and you know, of course, if you get a follow focus, you don't have to worry about that. Just kind of be smart with your shots, you know, work around that capability. So I'm gonna go over this right now, like just right here, and I'm gonna switch this thing in. I'm going to switch this out of manual focus into autofocus so you can kind of get the capabilities. So this is the autofocusing feature in match. So like as you kind of see, like I can't really mess with it. I kind of have to stand still, and then it works. So if like I go back here, like, you know, you see it's not fully working. Alright, now it's time to do a comparison between the two cameras, and the biggest thing that I'm going to be showing it off is it during the daylight, it inside, and then the two cameras in the low lighting scenarios to see the difference between the two cameras, just to kind of get a feel. And by all means, I kind of hate that I'm also comparing this to a T3i because it's a good camera, I still think. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed me showing off the camera and the comparisons, because I thought this was a really fun video and was really cool to kind of see the differences and how kind of similar these cameras are as well. But with all that being said, this does conclude my video, so if you guys could please leave a like on the video if you liked the video. If you have any comments about the camera that I completely missed, because I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff about this camera. And remember to hit that subscribe button, because that subscribe button will be waiting for everyone. I think I'm out here. Deuces.